can hear it, it's just, there we go, go ahead.
Okay, we'll call the capital budget hearing to order at yes, about 6:48, I guess. Okay. We really don't have an agenda, so.
I think you should turn it over to me.
Yeah, so go ahead to the capital budget. You run the meeting.
Okay, on October 16, 2003, the Capital Budget Committee got together and had their meeting. The members present were myself, Cynthia Gibbs, Kimberly Record, John Gregory, Maureen Parker, and Mike Faulkner. We came up with our recommendation, which we'll make to the town shortly. And before we do that, I'd like you to, I handed out a little packet here, which is some of the data that we use to come up with our recommendation. To start off, the first page identifies what we have in our capital budget funds right as of 6/30/2023, which was the audit, and what we expected to be at the end of 6/30/2024. At the end of 23, we had $356,849, of which the bulk of it was in our highway equipment fund to the tune of $214,243. Now, last year, after we went to the town meeting, they voted to add $200,000 to the fund this past year, which ended and will end in June of this year. And the amount of money we added was $52,934 for highway, roads, and structures, $130,066 for the highway equipment fund, and $17,000 for the fire truck fund. We anticipate between now and the end of June, coming up in 2024, that we're going to spend a total of about $185,833. The bulk of that is made up of $106,850, which has been spent on 3 culverts that were put in place already in the past 6 months. We also will be spending $23,198 in the highway equipment fund. $10,000 was spent for guardrails, which were not budgeted in the culvert programs, so we had to come up with the money for that. Fire truck fund for $17,000, and we anticipate spending $5,200 out of the town hall funds for repairing the front walkway. So at the end of 24, 6/30, we expect to have $371,016. Now, if we go to the next schedule, this identifies one of the major items that we have in culverts. You can see that project 1 was the Hinkley Brook culvert this past year for $183,500. Project 2 was the Putnam Forest Road culvert for $123,500. Project 3 was the Dick DeRocher culvert, which actually cost us $5,000 to put in. So of that, the 3 that the town had to pay was a total of about $106,850. Now, we have another project coming up, which is Fisher Hill Road number 10 for $225,000. And this is a quote that's been provided by Renard Brothers Incorporated. And we expect to get a grant of $180,000, which means the town will have to pay an additional $45,000 in the coming year to complete that project. Future culvert projects that have been provided to us are culvert number 13, Fisher Hill Road, culvert number 2, Stagecoach Road, culvert 30, Hinkley Brook, and culvert 13, Eastman Road. There are no plans immediately that I know of to fund those projects until we can get a grant at a later date. So any questions, Josh? The next major item that we have in our capital plan is for our equipment. So what are our cash needs going through the next 3 years, 3 and 4 years? The equipment needs in 23-24, which is the current year, is a lease payment on our excavator, which is the 4th payment, $23,198. Then we anticipate the next year, the final excavator payment for $23,198. Replacement of our truck number 1, which is estimated to cost $275 less $70,000 on a trade-in for a net of $205. And the replacement of our loader, which is also $275,000 estimated cost less $70,000 trade-in for $205 for a total of $433,198. In 25-26, truck number 3 is due for replacement. That's the pickup. The estimated cost will be $80,000 less $20,000 on a trade-in for $60,000. And we need to replace the grader, which is estimated at $300,000 less $100 on the trade-in for $200 net. Total, that's $260 in 25-26. Then in 26-27, truck number 4 is due to be replaced. This is a smaller one, estimated cost of $210 minus $70 trade-in for a net of $140. So the total cash required from 2023-24 through 27 for equipment is going to be $856,396. The equipment funds that we will have available at the end of 23-24 are $344,309. This is what we'll have provided at that point in time. So the additional cash needed over the next 3 years is $512,087. And if you put that on a per year basis, that's $176,696. So that's what we're saying we're going to need next year, or in this present budget coming up. The next schedule is strictly a letter that we received from the fire department. They're requesting $17,000 to go towards their truck replacement fund, where they presently have a couple hundred, about $250,000 probably in there. Their new truck, they think, will cost $1,800,000 to $1 million. And they do not foresee that happening in the next couple of years. But it's something that's going to be there coming down the road at some point. So we're recommending that we provide the $17,000. So if we go to the last schedule, it shows that what we have available anticipated at the end of 6/30/24, which is $1,060. We're forecasting that we're going to have to spend the $45,000 for the culvert we just reviewed, $433,198 for the equipment for the loader, the truck, and the excavator, $17,000 for the fire truck, and town hall $40,000, which would be for the stairwell and replacing the fire escape property. So total expenditures of $535,198. So we're proposing that we fund $45,000 to cover the culvert, $170,696, which we'll need to spend for the next 3 years on the highway equipment fund, $10,000 for guardrails to replace the money that we had just spent, $17,000 for the fire truck fund, and we'll need another $73,004 for the town hall requirements, total of $250,000, which we got recommended amount that we budget for funding the capital budgets. That's only going to leave us with $85,818 at the end of 25, but we'll start building it up again. And you should understand that the equipment, the major pieces of the loader and the excavator, which have useful lives of 12 to 15 years. So we will not have to replace them anywhere in the future. Are there any questions? What if they do is if we find
I was asking Marty if there's any chance that if we were to lease any of our equipment and stuff, we don't know that yet.
Since we don't know that, we would go to warrant, we recommend you warrant 250, we put the 250 aside. Then if they can lease something, that will mean that it'll be less that will be required in the coming year or whatever we want to lease equipment. And in the year after that is when we would determine what the needs would be to completely funded. Leasing certainly is an option, but I think should be pursued once you see the pluses and minuses financially of whether we should do it or not. But for this year, I would recommend it 250. And that's what the committee recommends. Any other questions? I would suggest that we close the capital budget hearing and we move it to the select board.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, I
need a Everybody? No,
Yeah.
where,
Yes,
we're.
I need a motion to close the hearing and then to start the
Oh, we do?
select board.
All right, so have a motion, seem the motion to end the capital budget hearing and move into the regular select board meeting schedule.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Can we,
Yes, Wendy, when you say something?
no, I just want to know if we have a minute to get to the other Zoom link, that's all, before you start the meeting.
All right,
It's a different link, so.
okay, so we'll call the regular select board meeting to order at 6 p.m. Town Hall upstairs on January 2nd, 2022. So we have to, is there a news release for this?
No, we can keep the same one.
Right, so we need a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Can I make an amendment to that?
Yes.
We have to award the village pump park bids.
Okay, so we'll do that other after the committee reports, okay?
Okay.
All right, so any objection to adding that to the agenda? No. So if not, then we need a motion to accept the agenda as amended. Second. Any opposition? If not, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay. We have only one set of minutes to do tonight, and that's December 18th. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes that were presented?
I didn't have any.
If not, somebody make a motion to approve the minutes, regular meeting of December 18, 2023. So moved. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Them down.
I can't now. Opposed? Okay, all right. Okay, capital budget. Now we need to take an action on the capital budget hearing. Somebody want to make a motion? Somebody have questions?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Kim, mentioned about leasing, is that can't happen this year?
The question was, can leasing happen this year?
Sure, I mean, if you pursue it. It's up to the town to approach either a financial organization who leases vehicles and stuff like that. To see what it would cost for a lease, how many years the lease would be. What the interest rate would be, which is obviously going to be higher now than it's other years. And go from there. But it obviously would spread out the payments, just like it did with the excavator over a period of time. It's 5 years for the excavator. That was $100,000 purchase plus at $23,000 a year. You can also do that with trucks. You can do, you can lease a truck. You can lease pretty much anything, I think. Mike, you got any comments? You have talked with me, yeah?
It seems to me it would be just like leasing the excavator. You could do that with truck. It's basically the same idea. You own it in the end. And the part.
When do we expect to get the new truck? This year?
No. Order it this year and get it in the end of next year.
Next year. So we could probably consider it next year. If we want to lease.
A year, like a year and a half out. Yeah, it's roughly what it's running now. It's even worse than it was during COVID. That's possible.
Plan would be to get it at 24.5 years, which is the year after the one we right? But we wanna get on, if we're gonna do it, we wanna,
You would
Get
start
on it,
now,
get
you gotta
on it
start
now.
now for the truck, get it ordered and headed, which we already told them that, you better save a spot. And then it would be the fall, it was like November, I think. Year and a half out, basically, before you would receive that truck. That's because the body, it's not the truck so much, it is the body packages that you get, there's only 2 companies. And you have to get on a really long list. That's the thing, so you get your name and something.
Aren't you writing the thing out this week, Morgan, for it?
Yeah, I hope to have it ready by next meeting, the bid that we can submit.
Any other comments on the capital budget? If not, somebody make a motion to either approve it or accept it. So moved. Second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of accepting the capital budget as presented tonight by the capital budget committee, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, all right, thank you, capital budget committee. Okay, appreciate it. Okay, the Village Park grant agreement.
We just choose. Bigger bridge.
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh, yeah, Pitted Building. Why is it Pitted on there? I don't know.
Cause there's a question last time
Yeah,
about why we insured it, why we're not insuring it.
Wendy is on. Do you want to speak
You want
to
me
it?
to, would you like me to speak? Yeah. I was having a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago. And that person questioned the, whether it was a good idea not to insure it in the event of, if something happens to it, how are we going to rebuild that bridge? Not a covered bridge, please, God, not a covered bridge, but just a bridge. If we don't have insurance, how would it be paid for, I guess?
Well, I think, I gotta help me here. I think we talked about it, that the amount of the insurance wouldn't even begin to cover the cost of replacing the bridge. That's right. And it was, I don't know, what was it, a couple $1,000s a year?
$3,000. And it would, I think, Kinder wasn't you have to put in another wooden bridge.
Yeah, so the replacement would only cover to put in another covered bridge, which
Yeah.
isn't even a quarter of what it would cost. So by not insuring it, I don't think you'd be obligated probably for a covered bridge, but a bridge would have to go in.
And no other bridge in town was insured.
No, there's no bridges insured. That was the only one because it's a structure.
So it's just
So when they, at the time, select board decided they would go with no insurance, that's how that happened.
I know, I watched the meeting. I think I was there actually. I guess is it inspected regularly? That sort of thing? I mean, is it treated like the other bridges, I guess? Especially with all the flooding that's been going on those 2 branches of the Saxons River lately. The answer is no, probably, I'm sure. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it. And also, who benefits from having a covered bridge there? And I would say the Wyndham Foundation does more than anybody else. That the inn does, the Wyndham Foundation does, and perhaps they could be called upon to contribute when the time came. That's kind of a joke, but anyway. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Wendy. Does anybody want to revisit the covered bridge, or are we okay with it? Okay, the
It takes it out. Okay.
Village Park grant
Okay,
agreement.
I'm gonna be getting a grant agreement in the next couple of days, and I just need authority to sign off on that. If we want, we had already applied for a grant and it's all going through, we just need signing authority.
how much is the grant?
So the total project was $36,975. And the grant covered $29,580. So there was a 20% match.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So someone make a motion that gives the town administrator the authority to sign.
So move.
Second. Any other discussion? If not, go ahead.
Where's the 50%? Where is that coming from?
So we have most of it is coming from the labor that, the volunteers.
In-kind.
Yes, yeah. And then within that, there's local funds, because we had to have a local government piece to it. And so that was 1,500 that came out of the village park fund. We had discussed it when we originally applied for the grant, and I can share this with you too. And then to make up the remainder of private citizen would have to contribute $760. So that, I mean, it goes into more detail if you want, I can share it.
So the 1,500 is coming from the village maintenance line item that we had incorporated, but did we not take that out?
That was, I think it's left over from the money from the logging, I think, that's where it's supposed to go.
I don't think they have that much left over for logging.
I don't know.
Just curious.
Do we have the money budgeted? 1,500?
Well, we had it budgeted.
We had
Was it
it
taken
for
out?
this year, yes.
But there's
I
money in
don't-
that.
I can't remember, I have to go in my paperwork to see if it's in the budget for this upcoming fiscal year.
I think we had some money left over for the budget. If I remember correctly, for this year.
Right, it's in it for this year, but for the upcoming fiscal year in July, I don't know if we put that line item in, because somebody, I thought we had a discussion whether or not it needed.
I don't remember either.
I can double check, but that's all right, it's not a huge amount.
All right, so, the motion is, we need a motion, I guess, do we have a? Somebody make a motion to,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, okay, so, all in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Okay. Colton, I guess, you know, I've ever before, I guess, or Mike, either one,
Nothing exciting.
know what's going on.
Filling in ruts from the mud, trying to fix the mud, and I get through, I get up Stagecoach to do some tree cutting for the grant work. But as of right now, it's gonna be just dealing with the muds, getting ready for the snow this weekend.
What are you doing to the, are you putting gravel on some of the
Just
roads?
put gravel down as of right now. It's too hard to grade it, I mean, it is.
Yeah, he went out middle of the night after it stopped raining, and he ran for, I don't know, probably 5 hours.
Yeah.
With a grader to smooth up what he could, and then the other three of us went out at 4 o'clock the next morning and ran around to get the worst of it before it thawed back out again. So now we gotta run back around and get the residual ruts that we didn't have time for it that before it snows.
Yeah, it helped, I mean, I wasn't on all the roads, but where you did it, it helped.
Oh, yeah.
The major ruts out.
Yeah, you save a lot of gravel by doing that, but it's usually a very small window of time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job, right there on 121, that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the next night, that was really amazing, you guys did great work.
I agree.
When it thaws out like that, there's not a lot you can do. It's-
No,
You just worry more roads getting there to fix them than you do fixing them, so.
it's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not normally rains this time of year, 4 days. It is what it is.
Anybody else have any questions for the highway department? Not. Ken, you're on, do you have anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things, to start with, petitions are due January 29th for anybody that wants to serve on any of our boards. Stop in the office, I have petitions. At some point, we want to talk about a pre-town meeting, setting the date for that. I usually want to be held 10 days before our town meeting. I don't know if we want to incorporate it to school and kind of do it at the school or what you guys want to do, but that is something on the radar. March 15th town meeting is also the presidential primary, so at the same time, we not only get voting for our local officials, but it's the presidential primary at the same time. So it should be a pretty, hopefully a good turnout. Something new that came up last week is, and it was in Grafton News, that we were having a rabies clinic and more information is to follow. Morgan sent out an email today and we're going to put it out for the next 3 months. But our animal control officer, Ashley, has coordinated a rabies clinic with a veterinarian that she's been associated with. Ashley being, a veterinarian technician for over 30 years, is going to assist, and they will be here at the town hall every other Friday, beginning on the 12th of January until, April 1st, for 1 hour from 9 to 10 a.m. in my office to, distribute, to give, rabies vaccinations to any Grafton resident that is in need of one. Our reports show that right now, to register your dog before April 1st, we have about 16 dogs that will be required to have a vaccination update. The vaccination is going to be $22 an animal. You need to bring in your past vaccination record. If they've been licensed with me before, I probably have that on record, so don't panic if you can't find it. If you don't bring one in, then it starts at the beginning and you'll only get a 1-year rabies certificate and not a 3-year. The costs associated with it, $22. I've been working on, and hopefully we've been working, Dawn and I, Don Google, with the GIA. And they're willing to sponsor the $22 for our Grafton residents to get their rabies certificates. So anybody that does show up for their, shot, it will be covered by GIA. But you still need to register your dog with the town. They're not covering that. It's $9 for, spayed or neutered dogs, $13 for, non-neutered. More information is gonna follow in the Grafton News. It's gonna be on Facebook. It's on our website. We missed the deadline for this past Grafton News. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. This is only something that Ashley is coordinating with all of the towns that she is affiliated with as animal control officer.
Do you want us to pick the town meeting date tonight? I mean,
You might want to throw a couple of them out to, Morgan, so that she can find out if this is available.
I don't have, anybody have a calendar here?
And it is something we're gonna want to advertise
It has to be 7 days prior, doesn't it?
10,
10.
within 10 days of
And
town.
March 5th is the day. of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. I think we've done it during the week, haven't we?
Usually we do like a Thursday
Yeah.
evening.
Right,
So that would be February 29th. No, that'll be February 22nd.
is that 10 days? I guess it is.
Yeah.
What day is that? Thursday?
That'll be 10.
What day?
That's a Thursday.
Thursday, the 22nd?
It's March 5th is a Tuesday. So the Tuesday before is the 27th. So the 22nd is not like 10, it's 15 days. 12 days, sorry.
It has to be within 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within 10 days.
Yeah, within 10 days.
So it could be the 29th.
Yeah, 29. Leave day.
Well, why don't you check, give us another possible date so that Morgan has a case that
That's
doesn't work.
Thursday.
Not school board this week. Check it out.
I usually do it any of those days, but within 10 days, so 27th, 28th, 29th.
Any preference on day of the week?
I think Thursday is probably a good day,
Well,
better
that's-
than any other
that's
day.
Option
I don't
number
know.
1, but option number 2.
It's always been on a Thursday.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Do Monday, the 26th.
It's fine with me.
That's the second choice.
Is that okay with anybody? Okay, so let us know, Morgan, and we can finalize that at the next meeting.
I will also be having to hold a BCA meeting, and I will try and do that before the next select board meeting.
Okay.
Just to set time and place of the actual town meeting.
So you want to do that on the 15th,
Yeah.
16th, because the holiday is on the 15th,
Okay, yeah.
so it'll be on the 16th.
Yeah,
February 16th is on.
Yeah, because Monday is Martin Luther King Day, I think. Anything else, Kim?
Y'all, I'm all set.
All right, committee reports, personnel,
What is the thing, right?
Yeah. Sadly. Mike is, resigned, or is resigning. So we need to have a new, foreman for the road crew. And I guess Colby Record would be, my Kathy and I's recommendation to take over. He's, been the assistant foreman. And, yeah, by all accounts, seems he's done a good job and is ready to step up, so.
are we ready?
Sure. Yes.
But I do want to thank Mike for, I mean, I've only been here for a little bit, but you've done a great job. And, anytime Kathy and I've had any issues, you've been easy to talk to, and, thank you for everything you've done for the town. How many years have you worked for them?
I'm 19, I think.
So, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll miss some of that, some of it not so much, but
Yeah, well, thank you for your service. Are you gonna be bored now?
am I gonna be bored?
Yeah,
Never bored,
no.
never bored, plenty to do. These guys can reach out to me anytime they need to. I told them, it's,
Well,
I
thank
got
you.
questions, I'll still be there, sort of.
Yeah, I saw Mike on Saturday, he was driving around looking at all the roads, and he said that he'd still be there if Colby has questions, or anybody has questions.
Morgan, anyway. There'll be stuff, I'm sure,
I'm sure there will be.
And your official day?
a week from today.
We can do that. Well, we wish you well.
If there's nothing else on personnel,
You wanna make that as a vote?
Yes.
To make Colby,
yeah, okay, right.
I'll make a motion to make Colby record the road for me.
Second.
All right, any discussion? So all in favor of Colby taking over as the road foreman, say aye. Opposed? Anybody opposed? You're official now. We have the other thing to do.
The bids,
We have the bid.
yeah, since Rich isn't here, who reads them?
Who overlooked the bids?
Rich,
Huh?
But then John came in after and looked at this.
So is there a recommendation?
Yeah, I recommend, I would.
Okay.
that's the cheapest, that's the least expensive too.
And this is for. Is it more?
This is the village pump.
Oh,
The
the
replace
request.
the-
Yeah.
fix the wall.
I've ordered 16,350. Neil Daniels is 49,500. And P and L of 18,950.
You want to make that motion? To accept the,
I said, I recommend,
in the motion.
yes.
We have a second to the motion to accept Ivor Stevens as the contractor to repair the village pump wall.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? If not, everybody in favor of Ivor Stevens doing the work, say yes?
Aye.
No? Okay. Do we have any other business? No? Do we have any public comment?
Did you, I missed the very beginning. Did you already talk about Stan Mack, Joe? Did you mention anything about him?
No, I was gonna do that, now before we.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. If there's no public comment, I just want to, I think maybe we'll just have a moment of silence for Stan, who, is a pillar of the community. Stan served at the board many years besides his fruitless work at the fire department, and Stan will be missed. I'm sure everybody knows, but, it's a sad day for the town. So it's. We give just a minute of silence to Stan, appreciate that. Okay, do we have anything else? Okay, the next regular meeting is not Monday, it's Tuesday, January 16th, because it's Martin Luther King here at 6 o'clock. Unless you're gonna do your BCA meeting prior to.
I'll do it, it'll be separate from the select board, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so we'll probably meet here by quarter.
So can I have a motion to adjourn?
So maybe.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. So thank you for coming. Don't go yet.
Hey, Joe, what are we gonna do?